Captain Sam Nelson looked at the main screen on the bridge of the Earth defense ship Vigilant. 5 strange ships entered the asteroid belt without warning. They were not Earth ships. Are they responding to our messages? He asked. Lieutenant Grace Martinez shook her head. Her dark hair was tied back tightly. No, sir. We tried all frequencies. They are ignoring us. Sam rubbed his chin. That wasn't good. Following the Galactic Council meeting 3 weeks ago, Earth Command warned all ships to watch for alien activity. Now it was happening. Scan them again. What are they doing? Sam ordered. Officer Ben Kelly worked at his station. They appeared to be installing mining equipment on asteroid XB-240. This is one of our mapped resources. Sam nodded. The Zarkonians were wasting no time. They headed straight for one of the largest mineral-rich asteroids in the belt. Send a message to Earth Command, Sam said. Then prepare a bus. I'll try to talk to them. Face to face. Grace looked worried. Sir, is this safe? Probably not. Sam admitted. But we need to establish contact. They can't just ignore us in our own solar system. 2 hours later, Sam's ship approached the Zarkonian ships. Up close, they were impressive. Smooth blue metal with strange patterns that glowed. No visible engines, but they moved with perfect control. The Earth ships looked like trash in comparison. A voice came over the communication system, speaking perfect English. Human vessel, declare your purpose. This is Captain Sam Nelson of the Earth Defense Fleet. I request permission to dock and speak to your commander. There was a pause. Permission granted. Follow the guidance beacon. Sam's ship was guided to a docking port on the largest Zarkonian ship. When the airlock opened, 2 tall, blue-skinned aliens waited. They didn't wear spacesuits, just plain gray uniforms. So, said one of them without introducing himself. Sam followed them down hallways that seemed to glow from within. The ship was silent, with few crew members visible. After a few minutes, they entered a large room. A Zarkonian was sitting behind a table made of some metallic material. Sam recognized him from the images shown in the Earth Command briefings. Krell Supervisor, Sam said with a small promise. The Zarkonian looked surprised. You know who I am. We try to learn about those who enter our solar system. Sam replied. Krell laughed. Your solar system? How strange, please sit down. Sam remained standing. Supervisor, you began mining operations without proper notification to Earth authorities. This asteroid is already claimed by Earth. Krell waved his hand dismissively. The Galactic Council has granted us mining rights. Conditional rights, Sam corrected. As far as existing operations on Earth, we have not observed any active operations on this asteroid, Krell said. It was researched and claimed. Our mining operation was scheduled to begin here next year. Krell leaned forward. Captain, let me explain something. In galactic terms, a claim without active use is not valid. You can't just put up your flag and expect others to wait while you move at your limited pace. Sam felt his face heat up, but he kept his voice calm. However, we request that you choose another asteroid. There are thousands available, but not with this specific mineral composition, Krell said. Listen, Captain, the Council has spoken. We have rights over mine here. Your people can learn from us. Perhaps in 50 years you will be able to try these operations yourself. Sam straightened his back. Supervisor, we will file a formal complaint with the Galactic Council. Krell smiled, showing very white and sharp teeth. It is clear that the Council handles these complaints very efficiently. You should expect a response in about 10 Earth years. Sam realized he was being ridiculed. So we will need to scale this through other channels. Are you threatening us, Captain? Krell asked, still smiling. That would be reckless. We do not intend to cause any harm to humans. We simply use resources that you cannot utilize effectively. This is how the galaxy works. Advanced species help primitive ones, showing them their place. Sam nodded stiffly. I understand your position. We will respond accordingly. Wonderful, said Krell. Now would you like to know our operation? You might learn something useful. Thanks. No, Sam said. I've seen enough. When Sam returned to his ship, he heard the Zarkonians laughing behind him. They thought humans were jokes. Weak, primitive. They would learn differently soon. 3 months passed. The Zarkonians now had 12 mining ships in the asteroid belt. More arrived each week. They ignored all messages from Earth except a weekly update that always said the same thing. Mining operations continue as approved by the Galactic Council. Frank Miller, head of the Ceres mining colony, called an emergency meeting. Ceres was the largest human settlement in the asteroid belt, home to more than 500 miners and their families. They are approaching our territory, Frank said, pointing to a map. Last week, they started operations on XB-112. It's only 50,000 kilometers from here. The room filled with angry voices. Susan Rivera, head of mining operations, stood up. They're getting all the best asteroids. Those rich in platinum and rare earths. They know exactly what they are doing. Frank nodded grimly. And they work fast. They destroy an asteroid in days that it would take months to mine. Back on Earth, Ambassador Kate Williams was trying everything she could to get the Galactic Council to listen. She sent daily messages. She filed formal complaints. But the Council moved forward slowly. Very slowly. It could be years before they review our case. She told the Earth Defense Council. Meanwhile, the Zarkonians take more and more of our resources. Admiral Jack Peterson banged his fist on the table. We should send more ships to protect our territory. That could make things worse, Kate warned. The Zarkonians have advanced weapons. We've never seen them used, but our intelligence suggests they are powerful. So we just wait. The Admiral asked angrily. Kate shook her head. Not exactly. I have another idea. At that moment, Dr. Olivia Clark was working in her laboratory at the Lunar Science Base. For weeks, she studied Zarkonian technology. It was just a small mining tool that a brave Cirrus worker managed to grab when the Zarkonians weren't looking. This is fascinating, she told her assistant, Helen Park. Their technology uses principles we are only beginning to understand. But it's not magic. Alan looked at the disassembled tool. Can you figure out how this works? Olivia smiled. I already have it. And I found something interesting. She pointed to a small crystal component. This is their energy source. It's incredibly efficient, but it has a weak point. What kind of weakness? Alan asked. It is sensitive to a specific frequency of electromagnetic radiation. The wrong signal can stop you completely. Back in the asteroid belt, trouble was brewing. The Zarkonians have moved their operations to an area near a small human research station. The station was unmanned most of the time, with only drone equipment monitoring. ING radiation in the belt. Captain Sam Nelson received an urgent message from Land Command. The research station fell silent. He told his crew we need to check. When the guards arrived, they found only floating debris where the station used to be. Sam felt a cold anger rising in his chest. Search for Zarkonian ships, he ordered. A ship 10,000 kilometers away informed Lieutenant Martinez. Save them, said Sam. The face of a Zarkonian officer appeared on the screen. It was not Overseer Krell, but a lower-ranking alien. What happened to our research station? Sam demanded. The Zarkonian looked bored. There was an unfortunate accident. Their primitive station was very close to our mining operation. The extraction process created a wave of energy that damaged him. That station was clearly marked on all the charts, Sam said. This was not by chance. Think what you want, human. The Zarkonian responded. We have submitted an incident report to the Galactic Council. If you wish to dispute our account, you may do so through the appropriate channels. The screen went black. The Zarkonian cut the connection. Record everything, Sam told his team. Collect samples of the debris. We need proof that this was deliberate. While the vigilante was collecting evidence, Sam received a message from Earth. It was from Admiral Peterson. Captain, return to Earth immediately. We finished playing well. It's time for Plan B. The Horizon Dawn mining ship moved slowly through the asteroid belt. The crew of 37 was in the middle of a routine operation, extracting rare minerals from a medium-sized asteroid. Captain Lydia Scott checked the sensors once again. No Zarkonian ships nearby. Good. How much longer, Joe? She asked her chief engineer. Joe Russell looked up from the control panel. About 3 more hours. This stone has good things. It's worth the risk. They all knew the risk. The Zarkonians claimed more territory every day. This asteroid was still in the safe zone, but that could change quickly. Keep an eye out for long-range scanners. Lydia told her navigator, Andy Wu. I don't want any blue-skin surprises today. An hour later, Andy sat up straighter in his chair. Captain, I'm catching something big. Arriving quickly. Lydia felt her heart beat faster. Zarkonian. Yes, it's one of their harvester ships, much bigger than ours. Lydia achieved calm throughout the ship. Everyone prepares for possible contact with the Zarkonians. Stay calm and remember your training. The Zarkonian ship appeared suddenly, as if it had leapt through space. One moment, it was a dot on the scanner. The next moment, he appeared above them, huge and shining. They're saluting us, Andy said. Overseer Krell's face filled the main screen. Human ship, you are mining in a restricted area. Cease operations immediately. Lydia stood tall. Overseer, we are in territory claimed by Earth. Their own maps show this area as human space. Krell smiled cowardly. Limits have been adjusted. The Galactic Council has granted us expanded mining rights. We haven't received any notification about this, Lydia said. Their primitive communications systems must have missed this, Krell replied. Now turn off your equipment. We are taking control of your vessel for inspection. You have no right to board us, Lydia said firmly. I'm not asking for permission, Krell said. The screen went black. Lydia felt the ship shudder. They're using a tractor beam. Joe, can you free us? Joe's fingers flew over his controls. Engines at maximum. But we cannot break their hold. Send an emergency signal to the Defiant. Lydia ordered. Tell them we are being approached against our will. 30 minutes later, Captain Air I.C. Johnson from the Defiant land defense ship received the distress call. Set course for Horizon Dawn, he ordered. Maximum speed. When they arrived, the Defiant found the Horizon Dawn locked into the side of the much larger Zarkonian harvester. No response came to his cries. Scan the human ship, Eric ordered. No signs of life, informed his science officer. But I detected human bioscience on the Zarkonian ship. They took the crew on board. Hail the Zarkonians, said Eric. A different Zarkonian appeared on the screen, not Krell. Human ship, you are interfering with authorized inspection activities. You illegally seized a human ship and its crew, said Eric. Release them immediately. The crew is being questioned about illegal mining. They will be released when we determine that they have not violated galactic law. Eric's face hardened. You do not have the authority to detain citizens of Earth. Release them now, or we will take action. The Zarkonian laughed. With what? Their primitive weapons. Be careful with your threats, human. This is your last warning, Eric said. Suddenly, defense platforms were deployed from the Zarkonian ship. Before the Defiant could react, beams of energy attacked T. Evasive action, Eric shouted. The Defiant was fast, but not fast enough. 2 beams hit the ship, tearing the hull. Alarms sounded across the bridge. Damage report, Eric called. Breach of the hull on. Decks 2 and 3. 3 crew members are missing, sir, dead. Eric gripped his chair as the ship rocked due to another near miss. Return fire. Aim only at the weapons. The Defiant fired its best weapons. They hit the Zarkonian shields and disappeared, causing no damage. Their shields are very strong. The weapons officer reported. Eric made a quick decision. Retreat, get us out of reach. As the Defiant limped away, Eric sent an urgent message to Earth. This is no longer a diplomatic incident. This is war. On his ship, Sir Krell watched the Defiant escape. Humans, he told his second-in-command. So predictable, so weak, his officer looked worried. Sir, should we pursue them? There's no need. Krell said, they are no threat to us. Tell High Command that the humans are becoming annoying. But the situation is under control. The officer nodded and left. Krell did not see the small Naldorian observation ship hidden among the asteroids, recording everything that had happened. Earth's response was swift and unified. News of the attack on the Defiant and the capture of the Horizon Dawn crew spread quickly. People were angry. Leaders of all nations met in an emergency session. We cannot allow aliens to kidnap our people and attack our ships, said President Carolyn Board. We must act now. General Lisa Wright stood before world military leaders. The Zarkonians have technology far beyond ours. Your shields can stop our best weapons. Their ships are faster, but we have something they don't expect. What is that? Asked the Chinese general. Human ingenuity, Lisa replied. And Doctor? In her laboratory on the moon, Dr. Clark worked day and night. The small piece of Zarkonian technology revealed many secrets. Alan Park brought her another cup of coffee. You should sleep, he said. Olivia shook her head. There is no time. See this. She pointed to the computer screen. Its shielding technology uses predictable frequency modulation. If we can send a counter frequency at exactly the right time, we can create a temporary window through their shields. Enough to pass a gun? Alan asked. Perhaps, said Olivia. But we need more data, and we need to test it. In orbit around the Earth, Chief Engineer Paul Harris led a team that modified Earth's space fleet. Old ships were brought out of retirement. Civilian vessels were quickly equipped with new systems. It's not pretty, Paul told Admiral Peterson as they toured the refurbished cargo ship Atlas. But it can work. Explain it to me again, said the Admiral. Paul pointed to new devices attached to the ship's hull. These are based on Dr. Clark's findings. They emit counter-frequency that can disrupt Zarkonian shields. And these, he pointed to other new equipment. Experimental aerial weapons using principles we learned from your mining tools. Will they work? The Admiral asked. Paolo shrugged his shoulders. Honestly, we don't know. We had 2 weeks to adapt the alien technology that took centuries to develop. It's a shot in the dark. It's the only chance we have, said the Admiral. Meanwhile, a group of computer experts worked in a secret facility. They called themselves NetForce. Their leader, Zach Turner, hadn't slept in 3 days. I think I got it, he told his team. The Zarkonians use a communication system similar to our quantum networks, but with differences. I found a backdoor into their systems. Asked her colleague, Hannah Lee. They never expected anyone to try. Zach said with a smile. Why protect your systems against primitives that couldn't understand them? On the Mars colony, Dr. Nickel Bennett led a different team. They focused specifically on Zarkonian shield technology. Their shields are impressive, she told the team. But they have a weakness. They are designed to stop Enrigi weapons and physical projectiles. But what about something that is both? His assistant, Carlos Diaz, looked confused. Both? How is this possible? Nickel smiled. We have developed a new type of projectile. It carries a charge of energy that changes state when it hits the shield. The shield reads it as energy, tries to disperse it, but then it turns into matter that passes through the gap. That's brilliant, said Carlos. Will this work? In theory, Nickel said, we haven't been able to test it against real Zarkonian shields. Back on Earth, Ambassador Kate Williams met with Commander Alexis Frost, recently returned from the Galactic Council. The Council refuses to meet on an emergency basis, Kate said. They say they need more proof of Zarkonian aggression. Alexis nodded. The Meldorians are helping us. The observation ship recorded the attack on the Defiant. They are presenting this to the Council now, but it will take time. Time we don't have, said Kate. The Zarkonians still have our people. Then we will take them back, said Admiral Peterson, joining the meeting. General Wright has a plan. It's risky, but it's our best option. When? Kate asked. 72 hours, said the Admiral. That's all the time our people have to prepare. On Earth, Mars, and the Moon, humans worked tirelessly. Test, build, plan. They had a chance to show the Zarkonians that humanity was not to be underestimated. Admiral Peterson was on the bridge of his command ship, the Intrepid. All around him, the bridge crew worked silently at their posts. Everyone knew what was at stake. All ships report ready, sir, said his communications officer. The Admiral nodded and opened a channel to the Zarkonian command ship. Overseer Krell's face appeared on the main screen. He seemed irritated by the interruption. What do you want, human? I'm busy. This is Admiral Jack Peterson of the Earth Defense Fleet. You are holding 37 citizens of Earth against their will. You destroyed one of our research stations. You attacked a military ship, killing 3 of mine. This ends now. Krell looked amused. And what exactly do you plan to do about it? Free our people and withdraw from the asteroid belt within 24 hours, or we will remove you by force. Krell laughed. With what? They're primitive ships. Your ancient weapons. You saw what happened to your ship that tried to interfere with us. That was then, Peterson said. This is your only warning. He signaled to cut the transmission. Krell's mocking face disappeared from the screen. He will not comply, said Captain Sam Nelson, who was standing next to the Admiral. No, Peterson agreed. Start Operation Pushback. All ships to their positions. On the other side of the asteroid belt, 20 Earth ships entered formation. Most were not military vessels. There were mining ships, cargo carriers, and scientific ships. All have been modified in the last 72 hours with new technology from Dr. Clark's and Dr. Bennett. On the Zarkanian command ship, an officer approached Overseer Krell. Sir, humans are sending ships. They appear to be surrounding our mining operations. Krell waved dismissively. Let them play their games. Our sensors show that they are mostly civilian ships with minimal weapons. They pose no threat. Should we prepare our defense platforms, just in case? The officer asked. If it makes you feel better, Krell said. But they are not stupid enough to attack us. In their secret facility on Earth, Zach Turner and his network strength team watched their computer screens. We are in their network, said Zach. Starting Phase 1. Their fingers flew over the keyboard, entering the code they had prepared. The Zarkanians relied heavily on computer systems to control their equipment. They never expected anyone to hack these systems. Why would they do this? Humans were primitive. Once the EDF guard was aborted, Lieutenant Grace Martinez counted down. 30 seconds for engagement reach. Captain Nelson looked proudly at his modified ship. It didn't look like much, but inside it carried humanity's best hope. All ships, this is Captain Nelson. Remember your training. Stay in formation. Wait for the signal. The Earth ships continued their approach. They looked small and fragile compared to the gleaming Zarkanian vessels. On the Zarkanian command ship, an alarm sounded. Sir, an officer called to supervise Krell. The human ships entered weapons range. Krell straightened up. In fact, they will. Attack. Deploy defense platforms. The massive Zarkanian ships bristled as the weapons systems came online. Energy fields glowed around them as their powerful shields activated. Sir, the officer said with concern, our communication systems are having problems. Problems? What kind of problems? Krell demanded. We cannot contact our other ships. And our defense coordination systems are. They are not responding correctly. Krell stood up. Impossible. Run diagnostics. Before the officer could respond, small objects were thrown from the Earth ships. They moved quickly, heading towards the Zarkanian ships. Primitive missiles, Krell said dismissively. Our shields will stop them easily. The objects hit Zarkanian shields. But instead of exploding, they seemed to transform and shake. For a brief moment, the shields wavered. What is happening? Krell demanded. Then a second wave was launched from the Earth ships. These were Dr. Bennett's special projectiles. They hit the shields at the exact moment of weakness. And it passed. Explosions rocked the Zarkanian ships. It's not big enough to destroy them, but accurate enough to disable important systems. How is this possible? Krell shouted as his ship closed. Their weapons should not penetrate the Earth shields. In the Intrepid, Admiral Peterson allowed himself a small smile. Signal Phase 3. Boarding teams prepare to rescue our people. The Zarkanians fought against humans who were primitive. They were wrong. News of the human victory spread quickly across the galaxy. Within hours, the Galactic Council called an emergency session. The Grand Chamber was filled with representatives from hundreds of worlds. The Zarkanian delegation remained in angry silence. His usual arrogance was replaced by shocked disbelief. Elder Ziv of the Maldorians spoke first. We warned you. We told you that humans respond to threats differently than any species we have encountered. Chief Advisor Terzak raised a member in order. We have received reports that human forces have disabled and captured almost all Zarkanian mining ships in your system. Is this accurate? The Zarkanian High Commander, Dras, stood up. His face was tense with anger. Humans used dishonorable tactics. They attacked our systems with computer viruses. They used technology they could not have developed on their own. They must have stolen it. Ambassador Kate Williams remained calm. She had just arrived from Earth with Commander Alexis Frost by her side. We didn't steal anything, Kate said. We study. We learn. We adapt. In less than a lunar cycle, Dras screamed. Impossible. Kate smiled slightly. Not for humans. Elder Ziv nodded. As we have tried to explain, when threatened, humans demonstrate remarkable adaptability. They compressed what would take most species decades into mere days. Dras pointed to Kate. They attacked peaceful mining operations. They damaged Zarkan's valuable property. They took our people prisoner. After you kidnapped our miners, Alexis pointed out. After you destroyed our research station, after you killed 3 of our military, the chamber erupted in murmurs. Terzak asked for silence. What did you do with the Zarkanian crews? The chief advisor asked. They are safe and well taken care of, Kate assured him. Unlike our people who were detained in poor conditions and harshly interrogated, we are prepared to return all Zarkanian personnel as soon as our own people are safely home. High Commander Dras was not finished. The Council must punish these primitives. They violated several protocols. They damaged valuable equipment. They used military force against a Council member. I agree that protocols were violated, Kate said, but not by us. She nodded to Alexis, who activated the small device. A hologram appeared in the center of the chamber. It showed the attack on the ground research station, the capture of Dawn on the horizon, and the unprovoked attack on the Challenger. This footage was recorded by a Meldorian observation ship. Kate explained. It clearly shows who violated Council protocols first. The chamber fell silent as the Council members looked on. When the recording ended, many turned to look disapprovingly at the Zarkanian delegation. High Commander Drass tried one more approach. These humans shouldn't even be here. They are not full members of the board. They do not have the right to directly address this body. In fact, Kate said, that's why we're here today. She took a step forward. Earth formally requests full membership in the Galactic Council. The chamber erupted again. Full membership has rarely been granted to species so new to space travel. Normally, it took centuries to prove its worth. Elder Ziv raised his hand for attention. The Meldoriano Collective supports Earth's petition. This caused even more commotion. The Meldorians rarely supported new members. On what grounds? One representative asked NTE of the Volrex Federation. Humans demonstrated their readiness. Elder Ziv said, they successfully defended their territory against a technologically superior force. They showed restraint in incapacitating rather than destroying their opponents. They respected the rules of war by treating prisoners well. Most importantly, they developed a partial understanding of advanced technology in an extremely short time. This indicates that they are ready to join the Galactic Society as equals. Terzak called for order. This is unexpected. The Council will need time to consider this petition. High Commander Drass was furious. This is outrageous. These primitives. Be careful with your words, Kate interrupted. These primitives defeated their best ships and captured their most advanced mining equipment. All this using technology they developed in less than a month. The Council chamber fell silent as the implications sunk in. What else could humans be capable of if they had the time and resources? 6 months have passed. The new adaptation of the ship floated in Earth's orbit. It was unlike any vessel humans had built before. Parts of it were clearly designed by Earth, but other sections showed influence from alien technology. It was the first of its kind. A human ship incorporating what they learned from the Zarkonians. Captain Sam Nelson walked through the halls, pride swelling in his chest. After the conflict in the asteroid belt, he was chosen to command this special ship. It was not just a military or exploration ship. It was a symbol of Earth's new status in the galaxy. Captain, all systems go, said his tactical officer, Ryan Shun. Final checks have been completed. Thanks, Lieutenant, Sam replied. Notify all crew to prepare for departure. The adaptation crew was unique. Although the majority were human, 7 members were aliens from different species of the Council. Each was an expert in their field, sent to work alongside the humans as part of the new alliance agreements. In the engine room, Chief Engineer Daniel Rodriguez worked with Zell, a 4-armed Volrex engineer with incredible technical knowledge. His modifications to the design were brilliant, Zell said, examining the propulsion system. We would never have considered reconfiguring the energy flow in this way. Daniel smiled. We humans like to try new approaches. On the command deck, diplomatic liaison Maria Sanchez spoke with Trell, a young Meldorian observer. Although he was only 70 years old, very young for a Meldorian, Trell was specially selected by Elder Ziv for this task. Your people continue to surprise us, Trell said. 6 months ago, you barely understood shield technology. Now you improvised on this. We had good teachers, Maria replied. No, Trell shook his head. You had examples to study, but the improvements came from you. Perhaps most surprising was Varric, a Zarkonian technology expert who requested political asylum on Earth. He was now at his post, his blue skin standing out among the human crew. Are you comfortable here, Varric? Sam asked, approaching him. Very much indeed, replied Captain Varric. My people were wrong about humans. Many of us see this now. That's why I chose to come here, to learn and help. Sam nodded. He knew it wouldn't have been easy for Varric to leave his people. The Zarkonians lost prestige in the conflict with Earth. Some, like Varric, recognized the opportunity to learn from humans. Others, like former Superintendent Krell, fell from grace. Captain, the communications officer shouted. Message from Land Command. We are cleared for departure. Furthermore, Admiral Peterson sends us best wishes, guys. Thanks. Set course for the Galactic Council station. Let's show them what this ship can do. As the adaptation moved further away from Earth, Sam received another message. This was from Ambassador Williams on the Council. Good news, Captain, she said, her face smiling on the screen. 3 more species have requested formal alliances with Earth. They are impressed with how quickly we have adapted to the galactic society. That makes 7 ring requests in 6 months, Sam noted. The council cannot ignore this. They're not, Kate assured him. Our full membership vote is scheduled for next month. The Meldorians predict this will pass easily. In the Grand Council chamber, Elder Ziv addressed his fellow representatives. Many still had doubts about humans and their unusual abilities. What makes humans truly dangerous is not their technology or their aggressiveness. Elder Ziv explained. It is your adaptability and your remarkable ability to transform adversities into advantages. He pointed to the reports in front of them. Human engineers had already developed improvements to several technologies they encountered during a conflict with the Zarkonians. Improvements that not even the Zarkonians considered possible. We warned the Zarkonians. Elder Ziv concluded. But perhaps this result is for the best. The galaxy has gained not just another spacefaring species, but one that will reshape our understanding of what is possible. As if to emphasize his point, the adaptation arrived at the council station, completing its first faster-than-light jump in half the expected time. Humans arrived on the galactic stage, and the galaxy would never be the same.